and simply just start booking calls with people and talking to them. You will see that people love to help us. Most people will say it will be an easy yes, especially if it's an established relationship. You'll be surprised by how many people just say yes and start talking to people. And you will find eventually those super connectors that will send you 4 or 5 potential referrals.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast, brought to you by A Advanced Services and Fuse Networks. My name's Galen.
And I'm Joe.
We're coming at you from the Creative Block Studios in Seattle, Washington. So, Joe, since it's been a minute, how did our podcast come to be?
Sure. So it first started out as a private Facebook group page, and the purpose was to bring business owners together to just kind of communicate with one another, ask questions, share tips, brainstorm. From that, it kind of just morphed into a podcast where the purpose of our podcast is to bring on different guest speakers to talk about all different topics related to business and entrepreneurship.
All right. So for today's guest, we have an international guest all the way from Portugal. Joe, who do we have on joining us today?
Tiago Faria, right? I
That's
already butchered the last name.
If you want to be very picky, you say Tiago Faria.
Faria. I like that pronunciation better. And today's topic is using your existing business ambassadors to grow your business. But before we get into the topic, we always like to get to know our guests. Tiago, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, guys, thank you so much for having me. It's a true pleasure. It's going to be fun. My name is Tiago, Lisbon, Portugal, born and raised here. I help coaches, consultants, service providers to basically simplify their marketing. And I like to use my anti-marketing method, which we can talk about a bit more later, so that the right people get it and come to them with the least amount of stress, hassle, and cost. I love to say that we already have everything we need in our world to start, growing and having fun in our business. No need for lunches, funnels, challenges, or spend too much money on ads, which we can also talk about later. So yeah, I love to share the simplest path to profits.
And what got you started in doing what you're doing?
So it started with me working at Google for 8 years. So I was in Dublin, Ireland, in the European headquarters. At some point, I got a bit overwhelmed with the corporate world, and I realized I was not. I was psychologically unemployable, and so I started to find, okay, what are the other paths there? And I figured out I loved marketing. I loved everything around it. I wanted to expand on my creativity, so I decided to come back to Portugal and start helping out the local businesses, the local entrepreneurs. But yeah, I hit against a brick wall because I was using all these complex strategies, these ads and funnels, etc. Hit against a brick wall, complicated my life, my clients' lives. So for 3 years, more than 3 years maybe, I was firing everywhere. I was testing all the shiny objects and getting lost in them in that in the trap. But it was until only when I figured, okay, I need to do something. I need to work with a mentor to help me out and figure out what path should I take. So I decided to work with Terry Dean. I don't know if you know Terry Dean. He's one of the dinosaurs of marketing. So together with him, made a plan. I have my vision. I drilled down exactly who I want to help, which is what I said at the beginning. And I simplified my approach as much as possible. Inspired by an amazing book that maybe I can share already with you guys, which is Getting Everything You Can Out of All You've Got by Jay Abraham. So I focused on this last sentence, okay, all you've got. And that's exactly what brought me to anti-marketing.
So since you hit the wall and you got started, you found your mentor, what are some early lessons learned as an entrepreneur?
Yes, that's a great question, and something that I wish I had known much earlier, but everything happens in its own times. But one of the things I truly believe is the fact that we should not try to help everybody. We should not position ourselves as generalists, right? I am a business coach or something like that. Like I can serve anyone and everyone that pays me money, and that's a huge trap because our message does not resonate with anyone, and no one feels attracted to what we have to offer. We try to please everyone. No one actually gets pleased specifically. So I think the first lesson that I believe is very important for most people is to, okay, let's drill down specifically, who exactly are we helping? The person. What's the context of that person? and what is the specific problem that we're trying to tackle. We cannot solve all the people's problems. I mean, we have the power to do it probably, but it's impossible to do it in a short term. So if we drill down on a specific person and a problem, our communication becomes much more clear. We know exactly what to tell, how to market, how to sell, because we know all the objections, all the goals that they have, the needs. And then we also know how to deliver our product, service, program, whatever, because we know, okay, this person wants this, he needs to achieve this, so this is the path to help them, either through service or product, whatever. That's the biggest lesson.
Sweet. So next question then is, what is the best piece of advice that you've been given?
I think throughout my entrepreneurial experience, I think it has been a mental trick that you should, it's still a skill that you learn and you learn to experience with, but it is to try to become as much as possible outcome independent. So because we're trying too hard to, this has to work right now. Every strategy we try to implement or every path we try to take, we have the feeling that it has to work. And if it doesn't work, we jump immediately to another tactic. We keep getting lost in this trap. But it's very problematic because if we are too dependent on the outcome, we're against the nature, because it's the most natural state of things is nothing works. Absolutely nothing works.
Right.
It's natural that you don't get the first client immediately until you start talking to many people. So we have to believe and understand that it's a natural state to things not to work, and we have to keep going at it, right? And keep experimenting things and talking to people, etc., until it works. Not if it works, but keep going and believing in the process. And I think that was the biggest lesson I've had so far, to become more outcome independent.
Okay.
So you mentioned being, I can't wait to get to talk about this later, your anti-marketing approach. But since we're a marketing podcast, why is marketing important?
Well, I'm not anti-marketing per se, of course.
I know. I misquoted you, but
yes, but
I needed to say that because we'll get into it. So it's something that I want people to tune into. Like, what did he just say? So
exactly.
Tiago? Why is marketing important?
Yeah, so I believe marketing is important for us to share our message and to get the right eyes, the right people coming to us, to talk to us, to understand how can they solve their problem. So if we don't have a vehicle to communicate with people our message and communicate who we help, how we help, and there's tons of strategies we can use, of course. Others, some more complex than others. But if we do that, we don't have leads, and if we don't have leads, we don't talk to people, we don't have anyone to sell, and we're going to be stuck in this for a long time. So marketing for me, it's the way you position your offer, your product, your service, in a way that attracts the attention of people. Of the right people. So it's very important to attract the right people, so that you don't lose time talking to random, people that will not be able to implement what you want to share, etc. But it's a matter of positioning, communicating the value of what you do, so that you attract the right people to your world.
Okay, thank you. Now we come to the part of our podcast, our Advanced Services Pump You Up quote of the day. Joey, do you mind reading this quote from Zig Ziglar?
You can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want, by Zig Ziglar. Why does that quote resonate with you?
Yeah, if you help enough other people, right, to get what they want. Yes, it has been stuck in my mind for a long time, since I began actually my entrepreneurial journey, and because it's really goes to the outcome independence. We are here to serve people. We're not here to. I mean, we're not our business. We're here to serve our people, our audience, our clients. And if we think about it in that sense, we are, positioning ourselves as the only viable solution, because we're here to support people. And if we do that at scale, it's inevitable that you will be rewarded by adding value to the world. And that's been stuck in my mind for a long time. Not only in your marketing. If you try to add value before you ask for something, that will position yourself as someone that is super attractive. People will flock to you because nobody else is doing that. Also, in the way you do your sales calls, if you try to add value during your sales calls, so that the person comes a bit better than she was before, even if she doesn't become a client. And then, of course, once you deliver your programs, services, etc., you should really be focusing on generating results. Because if we're in this service industry, if we don't generate results, it's not sustainable business. We want to have testimonials, we get case studies. We don't. Yeah, it simply does not work. So I think it's a good motto to have in everything we do in business.
Awesome. Thank you. Now we come to our Fuse Network's Did You Know segment.
Millions of cyber criminals are out there on a daily basis trying to steal your information. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Small businesses account for 58% of cyber attacks annually. So help your company fight cybercrime and mitigate risk by being proactive. Call Fuse Networks, your local Seattle IT experts at 206-701-6040 for a complimentary IT network and security assessment.
So Tiago, I'm going to read a couple statements, or Joe and I will read a couple statements, and then just want to get your thoughts. So this first one, you will lose business opportunities if you choose a specific niche. So talk to us, share your thoughts with that one for us. I know it's a loaded statement, but go for it.
Yeah, so it goes back to what I said, that the selecting the specific person and problem. Because I can illustrate this with a metaphor. Like imagine because I'm overlooking here a river from my house, and if we try to capture all the fish in this river, we use a huge fish net, but a huge fish net will have huge holes, right? So most of the fish will go through. You're not catching anyone specifically, right? But if you try to catch I forgot how to say it, a group of fish, specific fish. I forgot to say it in English. There's a name for it.
School of fish?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, a school of fish.
A school of fish.
A smaller school of fish.
You'll have a smaller fish net with tighter holes, and you ended up getting all of them. So that's kind of the difference of positioning yourself as a generalist, trying to attract everyone and not attracting anyone specifically. Your message would not resonate with people. No, it's going to be, you can catch one or two maybe by chance or someone recommended you, etc. But it's not something sustainable. It's not something that you can scale. Yes, you end up having much more people if you target a more narrow group of people with a specific problem, because they'll feel, oh my God, Tiago is talking to me. I have this problem. I want to achieve this outcome. Versus, okay, he helps people in their business. Okay, that's nice. That's kind of I think it drills down on, it actually shows you that the more specific you are, the more opportunities you'll get, not the opposite, right?
I could say as a marketing company, when we kind of niched out, like we help 60% contractors, 30% professionals, and then kind of 10% were a case-by-case basis. But when we niched down like that, we saw a growth in the company. Because like you said, if you're trying to work with everyone, you're not going to help everyone. But if you niche down and understand like specific industries and their businesses, then you become more helpful.
Yeah, when you talk to everyone, you talk to no one, right? So, Tiago, you're right on. This next statement, the more complex the strategy, the more likely it is to work. So share your thoughts on that statement, please.
Yeah, it goes to that idea of the funnels, and you're one funnel away. You need to do very complex strategies, because it seems for us, subconsciously that okay, if it's very complex, it means it will be like a fast button. It's a very complex system that will extract our clients very fast. But that is usually not the case, at least for a person who is trying to grow, their business out of the basis. If you try to do the very complex strategies, on top of everything else that you have to do as an entrepreneur to learn so many different skills, life will just be more complicated. You're not going to get that quick win that you want. You're going to jump to another one. So, and what I defend is let's simplify our approach. Let's go back to the basics. Let's choose a very simple strategy that we can do every single day, repetitively until it works, instead of trying to find the fast, the quick win button.
Awesome.
I got this one, Galen, because this one
you've been looking forward to.
I've been looking forward to this one to read, just because we get asked this questions a lot, and it has to do with Facebook ads. So this is a stat. Did you know that 62% of small business owners are losing money with Facebook ads? Tiago, can you help explain to the audience why that is?
Yes, exactly. So it seems like it's the fastest way to go. We're using the complex strategy of ads, but the problem is that if we don't have a proven offer, something that is already proven to work before, if we don't have a very well calculated lifetime value of our clients, if we don't know that those numbers, it's going to be very hard for you to succeed with Facebook ads or any kind of ads. Because imagine you have a pile of sticks and you try to pour gas on top of the pile of sticks and you don't get anything, right? It's like the pile of sticks is whatever the clients, and the gas you put on top is the ads. But if you don't have a flame, you won't have a combustion, right? And the flame is exactly the offer that it should be drilled down to its best, and it has to be proven, it has to be working, generating results to people. And you only can do that in the step before you try to put the gas on top, right? You should start selling your offer to the people around you, testing it first with a specific group of people, and then once you have that thing proven, okay, then you can put the gas on top and you're ready to go. But until then, I think it's just a waste of money.
So if you have a business and you're trying to use Facebook ads, listen to what Tiago just said, because way too often, if you look in your own feeds, you're going to see all of these sponsored ads for businesses who are, one, they don't have an offer. Two, it's usually a couple of pictures or maybe a video and no information with it. And three, most of the ads in people's feeds nowadays are from businesses that don't even serve their area. In my feed specifically, I get a lot of construction companies from all over the country. And then you just reach out to them and let them know, like, hey, you're wasting money with Facebook ads, even though they think that that's actually growing their business.
So I know, just on the other side, I know there are businesses who have succeeded. Are there industries where Facebook ads work for a specific business, Tiago, more so than others?
I think it's not so much as like services, like a local business like plumbers, etc. That's a need that people actually proactively look for, right? I think for Facebook ads are more for things that people are not proactively looking for, but it's in the back of their mind, like something about personal growth or hobbies or things that you have to use more interruption marketing because people are not proactively looking for. If you get the right message to the right person, with the right offer again, it's more likely that the person will resonate with it.
Yeah, interruption marketing. Yeah, we haven't said that term on the podcast. We understand it, but thanks for that. So let's get into the topic now. So using your existing business ambassadors to grow your business. So what are one or two things you see businesses do wrong when a business is trying to grow their business, but when they're looking to hire you or you stumble across a business, like, stop doing that? Are there one or two common things you see businesses do wrong?
I think the main thing is the most basic. Most people, and I was included in that, disregard the established relationship they have around them. Okay, so we all try to look for, we have to find new audiences, new clients, new cold audiences. When we have so much opportunity around us, like all of us have a contact list, friends, family, colleagues. We all have an audience of some sort in LinkedIn, etc. We all have a network, and we forget to tap into those people for two reasons. The first one is what we talked about here, is to make them help us create an offer. This is amazing, something that most of us also skipped, which is to talk to people around us, interview them, the people that we believe belong to our niche, right, of our target audience for product or service. Simply interview them and ask them questions about, like, what are the main frustrations, what are the main problems that they're having, how does it make them feel, what do they want to achieve, because that will help us create something that people actually want to buy versus being on top of only inside of our head and trying to figure out what can I do to sell. No, we just tap into our audience, because they will tell you. People will want to help us. They will tell us exactly what they want to buy. So, and then we go to the drawing board. Okay, what do they actually want? They want to achieve this. They want to get this outcome. So I'll just create an offer around that, either a product or a service. And then, so that's the first big win that you get. They will tell you what you should be creating for them. And then the second thing is for you to, I have all these connections around me. What can I give to them that they would want to have? Even if they don't need our service, what can I give them? Well, everyone wants money. Everyone needs money. So what I love to do with my clients and myself is to create their own referral program so that you can proactively ask people around you to bring you clients. And if they do successfully, you can reward them with either a referral fee or a gift or some sort of incentive but we have to be proactive about that and not just wait for people to, come to us by their own goodwill. So those are the two things we can do already with our established relationships, and that it's very scalable. It's very leverageable because, you never know who knows who. Networks go so much farther than we can ever imagine. And if we get in the habit of asking people, things can start happening very quickly, without us needing to go to ads or funnels, etc.
So I'm going to just be blunt here. Can you just explain to the audience what an existing business ambassador is?
Well, that's not a term that I used. For me, an ambassador will be for me, it's like a super connector. It's a person that knows a lot of people and loves to recommend different products, services, etc. But we only can get to those people if we, talk to a lot of people. If we try to, if we don't reach out to our network and ask around who knows who, it's going to be very hard to find those people. So for me, the ambassadors will be super connectors, people that love to recommend other people. And if we connect to them and incentivize them and give them a really good incentive to start sending us clients and helping us, we will start creating a sales team for free, basically, right? So yeah, for me, that's what it is. It's finding those super connectors around us.
So for those businesses out there that are they hear this for the first time, like a referral program, that they may not have ever put together a referral program, like what are like the first steps? I mean, when you say it's easy, but for business owners out there to implement it in their business that don't have it, are there some best practices to when you put this plan together the first time? Because a lot of people will hear it, they'll think of the idea, they'll write it down, and then they'll throw it away, and then they won't get back to it. It'll be stuck in the back of their mind, like, oh, I heard someone talk about this. I heard this on this podcast. But for them to really put it in play, it's that first step that takes a lot of courage. A lot of business owners have a fear of failure, like, I don't want to do this, right? Or I'm scared if I do this, I may do it wrong. What are some things you could tell those business owners out there?
Well, yeah, exactly. So I think the best advice I could give is, well, we should make it a system. Okay, we should make it something that we do systematically and not just one-off and then never try it again. So first of all, formalize it into a document, for example, explaining exactly what that referral program is about. So, for example, if you want to give a commission, so explain exactly how much will be that commission, example, 10 to 15% or 20% commission out of all of the price that the person bought, and explain exactly how it works. So what you consider a referral. I love to do it so in a way that people will. The way that they present to me referrals, okay, send me an email with the referred person in CC so that I know exactly it came from you. But have it formalized in a document that you can share. And then also have it tracked very accurately. So I have a Google Sheet where you track daily exactly who do you ask, if you followed up or not, who's the person referred. So start tracking everything and simply just go on to your established contacts and start asking people. So a very easy, I know many people are afraid to ask, but a very easy way to approach it is to say, look, I'm creating this amazing product, service, etc. And I would love to ask you for your feedback. Maybe you know someone who this would be a good fit, and simply just start booking calls with people and talking to them. You will see that people love to help us. Most people will say it will be an easy yes, especially if it's an established relationship. You'll be surprised by how many people just say yes and start talking to people. And you will find eventually those super connectors that will send you 4 or 5 potential referrals. But I think the main obstacle here is that, as you said, is the fear of asking, right? But that fear of asking is a big obstacle for us as entrepreneurs. If we need to find ways to, okay, I'm just making an experiment. I'm just going to talk to all the people around me. I know that people want to help. It's in their nature to help us. So we just have to allow them to do that, right? And the only way to do it is to be proactive, ask around, and it's inevitable that things start moving. We just need to keep up, until it works and track everything, and it's inevitable for it to start working.
So when you work with clients, do you work with clients as like a one-time fee or like continually coaching? When you work with clients, what does that look like? If you work with like a first time,
so far it's a one-time thing. But yeah, of course, in the future I'll create additional ways to work with people. But so far it's through programs, yeah.
And you work with people all around the world then?
Yes, exactly.
Or,
I started recently internationalizing my brand. I've been focused in Portugal for way too long.
Okay.
But last year, one of my coaches said, Tiago, Portugal, 10 million people, 1.8 billion English speakers in the world. What are you doing? So yeah, one of those beliefs that I had to break. And yeah, so now here I am.
So if any of our audience wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to contact you or reach you?
Yeah, I mean, they could go like me on LinkedIn if they want. I can give you the links afterwards. This is why I'm being mostly focused on my content and sharing my thoughts. Or if you want to have a chat with me about any of these things here, we can discuss and make a brainstorm of ideas for your business. You can just go to tiagofaria.pt/call. And I love to meet new people in this area, so it will be fun to chat.
All right, I have a side note question. So you were a Google Ads manager, correct?
I was an international growth consultant, so I was consulting bigger businesses to expand their international reach through Google Ads. But yes, in a way it was.
When you were doing this, was there a certain vertical or industry that you saw had the biggest growth by using ads?
Yes, it was mostly the tourism vertical was growing crazily. Yes, the biggest clients were mostly in that vertical.
Okay.
Before we close, one last plug. We haven't plugged this in a while, but our hashtag Valor Cares initiative, Joe.
Sure. So
share some insight, please.
yeah, so if you own a business and let's say you're a brand new business or you've been in business 20 years and you don't like the way your website looks and you wanted to get it rebuilt, or again, like you said, you're a brand new business starting out and you don't have the funds, we have a program through our marketing company where we build websites for free. So you could just go to our website, click on the Valor Cares page and submit your information. And then we hope that we could build you a website for your business.
Awesome. So on behalf of our sponsors, A Advanced Services and Fuse Networks, my name's Galen.
And I'm Joe.
We're coming at you from the Creative Block Studios in Seattle, Washington. Tiago, obrigado. Thank you for joining us on this podcast halfway across the world. And everyone, we appreciate you tuning in and listening to this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.